Hello and welcome to the Keach Hospice Care Stadium for Biggleswade United's first home game of the new year. And of course, Nick was covering the last one away at Stopfold. I wasn't at that game. This is my first game of the new year, so it gives me a chance to say everyone a special happy new year to everyone, of course, and I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas. Games coming thick and fast here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. This is the first of 3 home games on the bounce. Nonetheless, next week, big FA Vars game. But before that, Biggleswade United have another huge test this afternoon. After 2 back-to-back away defeats on the road, both coming within a month of each other after the 3-week break we had due to postponements in December, Biggleswade United returned to action on Tuesday. Unfortunately, it was a 3-0 defeat against now league leaders Stopfold. And travelling to the Keach Hospice Care Stadium this afternoon is Crawley Green, who were league leaders this time last week, now third in the Spartans South Midlands League after they failed to a defeat in their last game before New Year, a 2-0 defeat away to Dunstable Town. And for Biggleswade United and Christian Collas, we've shuffled the pack. 5 changes overall from the 3-0 defeat last time out. Shows the strength in depth, and this is the team as follows. In goal, a return for Ollie Leslie, who returns to the team in place of Tom Wyatt. So back 4 this afternoon. Cameron Hyde, full-back, left-back, of course, and Casey Zabi returning to his right-back spot after being at centre-half for quite a few months of the season. He's now back at right-back with Milo dropping to the bench. Centre-half partnership who know each other very well, the 2 Jordans, Jordan Gerald and Jordan Wright, at the heart of the defence. Midfield 3, a return for Connor Inskip and captain Gaz Hunt, who come into the side alongside the ever-present Mr. Reliable Jaden Irish. A front 3 of Raheem Jabbar, 30 goals scoring striker Taylor Riney, and on the right we have Markel Cousins. On the bench, a bit of news for you, a brand new signing for Biggleswade United who starts on the bench today is Jesus Mendoza, signed today, or last night I should say, from Olsey Town. He's a wide player, and Christian is excited to have him as part of his team. Alongside him on the bench, we have Milo Keane, who very rarely doesn't start for Biggleswade United, but a well-earned rest for him this afternoon. He's on the bench alongside Josh Donello and Yemi Adelani and Tom Wyatt. All 4 of those players started for Biggleswade against Stopfold last time out. Only good enough for the bench this afternoon. Just shows the strength in depth of Biggleswade United. Biggleswade United off the back of 12 wins on the bounce here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. They're looking to make it lucky 13 as both teams are readying to come out onto the pitch very, very soon. Thank you all for tuning in, of course, to our Twitter space. And, of course, if you are watching back on the YouTube stream after the game. But the teams have come out, and this is the team for Crawley Green. So in goal, we have Dan Gould, Marius Patry, Nicolay Triff, Kai MacArthur, Gary Jones, Mike Evans, Randy McHaledu, Joe Hankins, Matt Maloney, and Jervin Campbell. So that is the teams for both. Just to reiterate, the Biggleswade United team, as I mentioned, 5 changes Christian has made from the Stopfold defeat last time. Ollie Leslie in goal, back 4, Cameron Hyde, Jordan Gerald, Jordan Wright, and Casey Mazabi. Midfield 3 of Connor Inskip, Gaz Hunt, and Jaden Irish. Front 3, Raheem Jabbar, Taylor Winey, and Markel Cousins. And on the suspense, new signing just announced from Olsey Town, Jesus Mendoza and Milo Keane, Josh Danilo, and Yemi Adelani, substitute goalkeeper. A very good competition for places in the Biggleswade United nets, and that just goes to show even more when you see that Tom Ryan been dropped to the bench, but also ever reliable man in Ollie Leslie comes in goal. It's a very good incentive for Biggleswade United this afternoon, and it's important we get back to winning ways because it's a huge game next Saturday. If you can get on down to the Keith Hospital Stadium next Saturday, we have a huge game. Coventry Spinks at home. It's Biggleswade United versus Coventry Spinks in the fourth round proper of the FA Vars. For Biggleswade United, they've got 2 back-to-back away defeats, but they've got 12 home wins on the bounce, so they're looking to make that 13. But as I mentioned, Crawley Green come here, despite having lost their last match. They've also got a very good away form. They've played 10 away matches in the Spartan South Midlands League, having won 7 of them and only lost 3 of them. But they've also go into this game having only won 6 of their last 10 league matches as well. So that despite them being so high up in the table, they've also been a bit of a mixed bag lately. So, and you can say the same for Biggleswade. So it posed the question of whatever team, the old cliche goes, whatever team turns up on the day could well be good enough to win the game, but it could be a game that could well be decided by a mistake for either team. So it's very important that Biggleswade United keep their heads, and it looks like we're going to have a tradition in non-league here and swap sides, but it's going to be a very, very tough test for Christian Colos's men, a test of character against a very, very good Crawley Green side who will want to get back to winning ways themselves. As I mentioned, they've actually had back-to-back defeats themselves recently, having lost to Hoddleston Town in a cup game and Dunstable Town in the league, as I mentioned, just before New Year. So they're coming off of 2 back-to-back defeats, the same as Biggleswade United. They actually sit 2 points off the new league leaders now, Stotfold. So they'll be looking to try and put pressure on the 2 teams in front of them, Leighton Town and Stotfold. One player who we definitely would want to keep an eye on and try and keep as quiet as possible is Brandon Carney's on the bench. He's got 8 goals for Crawley Green this season, but also a mention for Gary Jones, who's got 7 goals for Crawley Green. He starts against Biggleswade this afternoon, but Biggleswade United will be the team kicking us off as we make sure to this time remember the stopwatch as we're starting a couple of minutes late, but we are underway here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium, and Biggleswade United are looking for a fast start, as my stopwatch is not looking for a fast start today. As always, we are underway here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. I am your commentator, as always, Ryan Madden. Let us know what you think of the new camera that we have here. Shout out to Patrice for letting us borrow his phone for the streams. We're hoping that maybe the quality might be a little bit better. I think maybe the judgment will probably be more at away games when they're a bit closer to the pitch, but hopefully it shouldn't be too. It should be okay from the gantry. Obviously, if you're listening in from the Twitter Spaces, thank you very much. We have just kicked off here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. A big game here. Biggleswade United dropping to 9th, but they've only played 16 matches to Crawley Green's 19. So there's an 11-point gap between the two, with Biggleswade United having played 3 games fewer than Crawley Green. So it could well be an incentive for Biggleswade if they can win this match. Sure, they've got a huge game next week, but if they can get a result here this afternoon, it means that they are not going to fall away from the chasing pack near the top of the table. It's important to try and stay up there. So that's about taking it 1 game at a time, and they've got a fantastic record here in the Keach Hospice Care Stadium that we'll want to try and keep intact. Good tackle there by Cade Stevens-Abbey. It's gone out of play for Crawley, for a Crawley Green throw. They've started this first half very strongly, the visitors, and have got themselves a throw in inside their attacking half. To try and play it in here. Cross comes in. It's well blocked there by Jordan Wright. It's going to go out to play for yet another Crawley Green throw in. It's gone astray, but they're going to retake it now. There is the throw in. It's headed away. That's Raheem Jabba returns to the starting 11 this afternoon. Now the ball is going out to play for a throw-in to Biggleswade United. Going to be throwing just past the halfway here for United. Throwing's going straight to Taylor Winey. He looks up. He's going to try and find Raheem Jabba. Could be a great ball this. He's sent it bounce, Raheem Jabba. He's still running. Is Raheem Jabba. Jabba looking just for the short pass and left astray for Jaden Irish. Unfortunately, he's come back to Crawley Green. A lovely crunching tackle there from Connor Inskip to deny a potential counter-attack for the visitors. And it's had to play for a throw-in inside Crawley Green's own half. So don't forget to share the Twitter Spaces as well. Also, we'll be showing live full highlights after this match on YouTube, probably around 7 o'clock this evening. But this could be danger here for Biggleswade. It's Marius Patru, who, the fullback, takes a shot from outside the box. I want to say 25 to 30 yards out. It was going strolled over the bar there. It was just rising and rising, but the intent was there. And it was the first attempt of the match, and it did go to the visitors. Shot outside the box from Patru, well over the bar. Nothing really for Ollie Leslie to worry about, but a bit of a warning sign there to say that, you know, Crawley Green, as we expected, have definitely come to play. Now it's Jordan Wright for Biggleswade United. Jaden Irish, players up here with him, or just past the halfway. Taylor Winey, fortunate touch, but Jaden's kept it in possession. Lovely bit of football, this. They're looking to find Cameron Hyde. Short pass through to Taylor, who managed to skill his way through. Oh, that's a big chance there for the 30-goal striker, Taylor Winey. I think the flag was up for offside. Or maybe it's going out of play there for a goal kick, I think, there. But lovely bit of play between Cameron Hyde, Jaden Irish, and Taylor Winey. Taylor's shot drifted wide, and now we're at a shot apiece for both sides. Still Biggleswade United 0, Crawley Green 0, but very early signs of attacking intent from both sides, and neither side are really going to sit back in this one. And I think that was very highly expected when you look at the positions. The record of Biggleswade United at home, as well as the position of Crawley Green in the table, it's not a surprise in the slightest. And for Biggleswade, having played so many cup matches in majority, still in all the cup games, means that they haven't played as many league matches as Crawley Green this season. 2 of the next 4 matches are cup games for Biggleswade United, so that just tells you that they're not going to catch up with their league matches anytime soon. Of course, postponements in December. Dunstable Town at home and Potton United at home, both matches that will be rearranged later on in the season. There's Crawley Green that are looking to try and find themselves an opening here. It's a loose back heel that went straight into the feet of Jordan Wright. And now it's to Jordan Gerald, trademark left foot, looking to find Raheem Jabba on his left-hand side for Biggleswade United. He's under a bit of pressure there, and it was actually well dispossessed by Marius Patru. And Crawley Green have the throw. They've taken it very quickly here, have Crawley Green. Now it's Brandy Makadu, who's been well dispossessed there by Stephen Zabby. And Markel Cousins coming back and helping his side defending. Jaden Irish is what he's so good at in midfield, winning the ball back, and he's done just that on the halfway. It's now Jaden Irish. That's a little pass back there to JJ. He's going to try and find Markel Cousins. It was well covered there by Nicholas Tree. Apologies if I've butchered the name there. Now it's Taylor Wiley. Shuffles across the defender. He's looking for the foul there. He's actually given the free kick against Taylor Wiley, as much as he's a bit beside himself there, Taylor. But referee didn't like what Taylor did there, and he's given the free kick against him. I can understand Taylor's frustration there, because I didn't quite understand why the free kick was against him there. But nonetheless, Crawley Green have the free kick inside their own half to take it short. Good pressing this from Biggleswade United. Off the ball at the moment. They're doing a hard graft off the ball here, Biggleswade United. So it's headed away, and now the ball is back in possession here for United. It's Connor Inskip. Throwing a mask today, Connor. And it's good pressing here from Marco to try and disrupt the Crawley Green defence. They're playing it out for the back at the moment, the visitors. It's very dangerous against a team like Biggleswade. Jaden Irish heads it away, but it's back in possession here for Crawley Green. And lots of numbers back as well for Biggleswade United as Crawley Green look to attack. Give the ball over the top. It's going to be just too far there, I think, for Ernest and Jorgi for Crawley Green. Jordan Wright, the ever-present experienced defender there, was very much on hand to make sure there was no trouble. And it's a goal kick here. Yeah, Leslie taking it. That's Gaz Hunt. It's one of his team, a free kick. Good play there by Gaz Hunt. There's a free kick. Right, very close to the halfway in the defensive D of the halfway for Biggleswade United, if that makes any sense. And it's Jordan Gerald, and everyone's going to be going up for this because we know JJ's got a left foot that he can ping and be dangerous. This time it's gone straight to a Crawley Green defender, but the ricochet's gone back to Jaden. He's just lost the ball there to Triff, and there could be a counter-attack. I think he's onside here. There's numbers here. It's a 4 against 2 in favour of the visitors here for Crawley Green. Could spell danger. Very good defending there by Jordan Gerald, and he made sure he looked to his linesman to see if it was offside, and he saw the flag stayed down, so he decided to stay with his runner, and it was very well covered indeed from Jordan Gerald, and I think that's gone out of play as well. If it's not a throw-in right next to the corner flag, I think it's going to be a cut. No, I was right the first time. It is a throw-in. It's going to be taken long here for Crawley Green. There's numbers in here. Jordan Wright heads it away and out of danger. And now Gaz collects through to Jaden Irish. Gaz then kicks it away. Taylor Winey with the kick away, and now it's to Raheem Jabba looking to find the ball over the top to Taylor. He could be one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Winey looks to shift the goalkeeper and scores! Brilliant from Taylor Winey, and it was right from a defensive throw-in from Biggleswade to defend from Crawley Green's throw inside their attacking half. Biggleswade United has 3 passes. It's Gaz Hunt. It's then Taylor back to Raheem, who made a lovely over the top through ball. Taylor times his run to perfection. He sees the goalkeeper off his line, and Taylor with a delightful lob over the goalkeeper and into the back of an empty net. It's been a very much a end-to-end close encounter, but Biggleswade United once again proving just how good they can be at home, and that's Taylor Winey's 31st goal of the season, and it's a perfect start for Biggleswade United as he gets the crocodile teeth out. It's Biggleswade United 1, Crawley Green 0. Fantastic pass that is from Raheem Jabba, who's came back into the side, didn't play last week against Stockfold. Some of these players haven't, and it's an opportunity for them to get into the starting 11 for that huge game next Saturday against Coventry Spinks. But they can't be thinking about that now. It's about today's game. But you'd argue this game is fantastic preparation for next Saturday's game against Coventry. Jaden could be through again here, and the referee's actually pulled it back for a free kick to Biggleswade. Biggleswade wanted to play the advantage. It was a lovely little scoop turn there from Jaden, who started this game so strongly. I would probably argue be my very, very, very early contender for player of the match already. Jaden has been absolutely excellent so far. Very much early stages. But Taylor Winey had 1 chance at goal that drifted wide. You can't give him 2 chances on goal one-on-one. He had to struggle for defender too, but that just proves his confidence. Brilliant from Taylor Winey. And as multiple times this season, he has once again put his team in the lead. John the right with a flick on. Jabba could be in here. Jabba. Gary Jones had to be covered at the back there But Raheem Jabber has started this game like a live wire. He's been absolutely excellent. And Raheem continues to press to allow to put pressure on a defender and for it to go out of play for a Biggleswade United throw-in. So the pressure still stays on, but very good play that is for young Raheem Jabber. Now Taylor looking to turn his defender right from the throw-in. He's been doubled up on there, Taylor. He's still going for it, Taylor. Brilliant play by Taylor. And now it's Cameron Hyde that's caught his man there. It's going to be a free kick for Crawley Green. But fantastic start. I can't emphasise this enough from Biggleswade United. Against a very tough opposition. It's still very much early days. But if they can keep this momentum up, they're looking good. Jabber. Lovely ball again from Raheem Jabber. It's gone past the defender, and I think it's just going to be too far for Markel, but he appreciates the pass from Raheem Jabber, who, as I mentioned, has started this game as a real live wire so far for Biggleswade. Throw in here to Crawley Green, headed away by Kay Stevens Abbey. Jordan Wright. Under a little bit of pressure here, Jordan Wright. In fact, the attacker's done really well there. Brandy here for Crawley Green. They're looking to try and get it into the box. Cameron Hyde clears away. Still danger here. Gaz Hunt, very good pressing off the ball. And the fullback's done brilliantly well. Jalen wins the ball back once again. He's looking. I could have sworn that must have been a Biggleswade United throw, but it's going to be a throw in here as Crawley Green look to try and get themselves. As I mentioned, Biggleswade United back-to-back defeats. Also the same for Crawley Green. So spells for an interesting game. But Crawley Green are looking to react from that early Taylor goal from Biggleswade. And once again, it's a throw-in in the exact same spot almost as the Biggleswade and Crawley Green actually conceded their goal from on the counter-attack. That was good hands there by Paul Blackman, the Crawley Green head coach. Caught the ball as it went off the ball to make sure that his team can get the ball out quickly. Ball goes into the box, and Ollie Leslie commands his box well, catches it comfortably and throws it out very quickly here to Cameron Hyde. Taylor's going to have to run for this. Brilliant chase there by Taylor. He couldn't quite get the pass accurate enough, but it doesn't matter because it's gone straight back out to Connor Inskip. Could be a delightful ball by Inskip, just too central for Raheem Jabber. He appreciated the effort though, did Raheem. In a very entertaining game. No team has really got control of it as of yet. The Biggleswade United, as I mentioned, have the early lead in the opening 10 minutes of the match. Jaden Norris, brilliant by Jaden Norris. He's running the midfield for Biggleswade so far. Markel Cousins, Gaz Hunt finding space, finds Raheem Jabber, acres of space on this left-hand side. It's Raheem Jabber, turns inside, might go for goal, deflected. It's going to be a corner, and it's brilliant attacking football from Biggleswade United. The 16 minutes played, Biggleswade United 1, Crawley Green 0, and they are good for that scoreline so far, Biggleswade United, as they have got themselves a corner and look to double their lead in the early stages of this first half. Markel Cousins are over the corner for Biggleswade United. He's crossed it in. It's punched away, not convincing by the goalkeeper. Cameron Hyde from distance, blocked away by the defender. And now Markel Cousins gets back onto the ball. Saves for the cross, headed. Jordan Wright could be danger still. Jaden Irish. Cross comes in, headed away again. Markel couldn't quite connect onto it. It was actually Matt Maloney, who was one of the strikers there for Crawley Green, clears it away only as far as a throw-in for Biggleswade United. Cameron Hyde. It's Jaden Irish. That's Hyde. For that early cross in, it's headed away by the defender. They can't seem to get it out at the moment, the visitors. It's been all Biggleswade United in these last couple of minutes. Jaden couldn't quite keep it in play, as I say that. And Crawley Green can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief there. They have a chance to regroup a little bit, and it's gone out of play for their throw-in. As starts go after last week's away defeat, it couldn't come any better for Christian so far. As they really are pushing here, Biggleswade. It's Gareth Hunt, Biggleswade United captain. Back to Jordan Gerald. Looks for that ball over the top with his left foot, of course. Headed away, only as far as Cameron Hyde. Crossed in, deflected. Still not cleared quite yet for Crawley Green. Jordan right then. Every second ball so far is being won by Biggleswade United. Being caught there, Jordan Wright. He's let his referee know about it too, and he's got his team a free kick. It seems so sharp, Biggleswade, after such a, Stotfold was such a, just to add context to that defeat, obviously Stotfold were a fantastic side. I wasn't at the match myself, but from what I hear, Stotfold were very much more match fresher, match fitter. Biggleswade United, I know, hadn't trained or played for like 3-4 weeks before that. Cameron Hyde going across this in. Doesn't come to anything. But yeah, as I was saying, very much so for Biggleswade United. I think they only had 1 or 2 training sessions in 3.5 weeks due to the postponements of Christmas and everything else. Frozen pitches. We had lots of snow, of course, over December around Biggleswade. That's for sure. Which meant postponements. It meant nowhere to train. And I think we had 2 training sessions before the Stotfold match, and not to have any excuses. And Christian wouldn't want to use any excuses. The better team won on the day. Stotfold are a fantastic side who will definitely be up there, but another team who will definitely still be up there as well is Crawley Green. And at the moment, in the early stages, Biggleswade United are giving them a hell of a game, and they've got great value for the early leads so far in this game. So it's been a great response from Biggleswade after the 3-0 defeat against Stotfold, which I'm sure they would have learned quite a lot from as well. It's important, though, as I mentioned, it was vital today that they respond, because next Saturday is a huge game for this football club. If you can head on down to the Keach Hospice Care Stadium next Saturday, it's Biggleswade United versus Coventry Sphinx in the 4th round proper of the FA Vase. I believe it is the 4th round. I hope I'm saying that right. Another home match against Coventry Sphinx, a team who we played in the United Counties League last season. I think we lost 10-1 here against them last season, and 8-0 away from home. However, the team that we had at our disposal 12 months ago against Crawley Green in the United Counties League, when we were struggling to stay up and just stayed up on the final day in the Counties League, is much different to our Spartans team this season. So it could be a different game, but it's going to be a very tough game against a team who are very much high-flying at the moment in the United Counties League themselves. So head on that next Saturday, Keach Hospice Care Stadium, Biggleswade United versus Coventry Sphinx. And in terms of the football here, just to give you a quick update, Crawley Green had a little spell on the ball. The number 11, Jervin Campbell. Apologies if I butchered your name, but yeah, Jervin Campbell made a spiring run on the right-hand side. Got past Cameron Hyde, to be fair to him, which not many forwards can say they can do that, because Cameron Hyde's a hell of a fullback in this division. He went past him, but I think he just overtimed his run a bit slightly off, and it went out of play for a goal kick. And now Ernest and Georgie has time to tackle there on Gaz. It's going to be a free kick inside Biggleswade's own half, but they've managed to contain the chances from Crawley Green so far, who have yet to really challenge Ollie Leslie in the Biggleswade United goal. Still Biggleswade United 1, Crawley Green 0. Free kick taken there by JJ. And he's going to get himself a throw in here in a good position here for Biggleswade. It's headed away there by Nicola Treef. First Twitter space in a long time, of course, due to the fact that we could stream some 3 o'clock matches during the World Cup. Now the World Cup's over, we're back to the Twitter spaces, and we'll not be going live on YouTube. for a good couple of weeks now. So we will be going live on Twitter. Biggleswade United got themselves a corner here. We'll be live on Twitter Spaces next Saturday for the FA Girls match. So if you cannot make it down to the Key Trust Biscayne Stadium, don't you worry. We'll be going live on Twitter. So make sure you follow us at Biggleswade UTD, and of course subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure you can see match highlights of this game and also next Saturday's matches. Biggleswade United over the corner, 20 minutes played. They're looking to double their lead against Crawley Green. A lot of handbags going on in the box here. The referee wants to have a word with a few players. I think there's one or two players that might be wanting to try and get their hands on Taylor Wiley here. And the referee has seen something, and I think he's just going to have a word with a few. It's not. It's very normal to see a bit of handbags there in the box, and very close to the defenders here. But referee had a word. Whistle's blown. Two players over the corner here. It's going to be Gazlo who takes the corner. It's actually hit the side netting. It's gone straight out of play for the goal kick. So a bit of a wasted opportunity there, but Gaz has apologised there because Cam's normally trademark with the corners, but Gaz won double goes. And it's hit the side netting. It's going to be a goal kick here for Crawley Green. I'll try and give some live FA Cup scores as and when as well. And we get a break in play. Oh, and that's a mistimed pass there by Crawley Green. It goes straight to Taylor Wiley, who I'm not quite sure if he was going for goal there or trying to find Raheem Dower, but it's gone straight into the gloves of Dan Gould for Crawley Green. And as they look to try and counter-attack quickly, it was intercepted earlier by Cameron Hyde, but it's now back to very pacey Jervin Campbell here. He's got two players on him. Gaz has been excellent in midfield today. It's now back to Matt Maloney. Dispossessed by Hyde, but still Maloney is on the ball here for the visitors. Have a little 1-2. And Jervin Campbell's offside. Not Jervin Campbell, sorry. Brandy Makedu he didn't want the ball because he was offside there. They're looking for a 1-2 scenario there, but didn't quite come off, and then it's come off a player in an offside position. So it's going to be a free kick to Biggleswade, and that kind of sums up Crawley Green going forward so far in this game. And Brandy Makudu here up against Casey Mazabi. It's a fascinating battle out there. He's passed it through now to Triff. Goes for the early shot. It's great save by Ollie Leslie. His first of the afternoon. And he needed to save that. Otherwise, Crawley Green would have had an equaliser. It's their best chance of the game. It's the first time they've really had a one-on-one opportunity past the Biggleswade United defence. And it was Ollie Leslie who was very quick on his toes there. Fantastic save. But yeah, a bit of a warning sign there for Biggleswade because Crawley Green were in 1-on-1 there. But it was once again well saved by Biggleswade United shot stopper Ollie Leslie. Still 1-0. That's looking for that second ball. They've been so good at winning them second balls in midfield. Cameron Hyde wins the ball back there once again for Biggleswade. Crawley Green are looking to grow into this game a little bit more now. They've had a bit more of a spell on the ball in these last 5 minutes. John and Wright clears away. Inskip looking to win the ball back in midfield. That's brilliant there by Connor Inskip. Trying to settle it down a little bit for Cameron Hyde. It's now back with Crawley Green. Could spell trouble here. He's got a bit of pace, this Jervin Campbell. And once again, it's just too far for him. It's going to be a throw in here to Biggleswade. Cameron Hyde will be taking the throw inside their own half. Around 25 minutes played. Biggleswade United 1, Crawley Green 0. It's actually going to be a free kick. I must have missed that when that was given, but it is actually not thrown. It's a free kick to Crawley Green in a very attacking position. This a lot of players in the box ready for this cross by Patru. Cross comes in, headed into danger, headed away by JJ, then headed away by Cade. And it's back with Crawley Green now as Biggleswade United, as expected in this one, Got some defending to do as Crawley Green look to react to going 1-0 down in this game. It's Campbell. Still Campbell dancing around Biggleswade at the moment. They wanted a corner. They've got themselves a corner. It's come off a Biggleswade United player's ricocheted, and it's going to be a corner to Crawley Green. They're pushing for an equaliser here, Crawley Green. And they're giving Biggleswade United a real test. It's important. We've seen set pieces be a bit of a problem for Christian's side this season. They have to make sure they are on it from this corner. It's going to be Ernest Njorgi to take the corner for Crawley Green. 28 minutes played. It's Biggleswade United 1, Crawley Green 0. Crawley Green with a corner here as they are pushing for this equaliser. Cross comes in. I think that's come off Connor Inskip. It hasn't come off Connor Inskip. It's actually come off Joe Hankins, the captain of Crawley Green. I thought it came off Connor Inskip, but I haven't got a better view than the referee. It's going to be a goal kick. So good pressure either way there by Connor Inskip. Kick Ollie Leslie has taken. That's wins that second ball. There's no out ball there for, but Raheem's going to be chasing this ball down. Couldn't quite get his team the corner there. It's going to be a goal kick to Crawley Green. It's taken very quickly. They look to try and play this out quickly out Crawley Green. Taylor's pressed his defender. Too much for the referee's liking. It's going to be a free kick. Jordan Campbell on his right-hand side is screaming for this ball here. Don't think he's going to be able to be found from there. And Brandy Nakudu, who's really caused Biggleswade a few problems here. He's got past Cade. Now the double up. Cross comes in. Come out and play for a goal kick, but that left-hand side seems to be a bit of a problem for Biggleswade at the moment because it's a lovely bit of intricate play there by Triff and McKendu. Really causing Biggleswade a few problems. There was a lovely bit of skill there from Brandy McKendu to nutmeg Kate Stevens Abbey there. And it was Triff who was there doubling up, went to put the cross in, but the cross goes wide. But it's happened a couple of times, and it's something that maybe we just got to be a bit wary of. Goal kick. Oh, and that bit of ricochet could get a bit lucky there. Jordan Wright's under a bit of pressure. Ollie Leslie's got to get this right, but the referee's pulled it back. Very late call for a free kick to Biggleswade there. He thought about it. JJ was caught. I thought he played play on and didn't give the foul, but it took him a little bit of a while. But it looks like it is going to be a free kick here to Biggleswade United. We just passed the half-hour mark. And last 10 minutes or so since going 1-0 up Biggleswade. It looked like they were really pushing for that second goal, but Crawley Green have worked themselves back into this game, and Biggleswade United know for certain they're in a contest here. And as expected, against a team like Crawley Green, who are in the top 3 of the division, were first for quite a little while, I want to say, maybe a month or so, maybe even longer. It's very tight at the top of the league, and there's 2 points separating the top 3. And a victory for Crawley Green here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium could, if results go their way, put them back to the top of the Spartans South Midlands League. But coming to the Keach Hospice Care Stadium and getting 3 points is very, very difficult to come by. With Biggleswade United won 12 out of their 14 home matches here in all competitions this season, having drawn only 1 and lost 1 and won the rest. 12, in fact, are on the balance. We drew and lost our first 2 home matches and have won every single one since. So it was always going to be tough for Biggleswade against a tough Crawley Green side who have only lost 3 matches on the road in the league this season. And for Biggleswade, I mentioned already off the back of back-to-back away defeats. I think 3 home matches in a row could well work in our favour now on this run-in. But it's a quick throw in here. Crawley Green, who I mentioned are certainly very much to win this contest. Only 1-0. It's a very vulnerable scoreline to defend against. And it's Crawley Green that are back up the pitch now. They look dangerous, very dangerous. He's got past 1, got past 2. It's now Matt Maloney. Cuts inside, just outside the box. It's Maloney. It's deflected off Gaz Hunt. It's going to be another corner for Crawley Green, who are really, really pushing Biggleswade here as we are nearly entering the final 15 minutes of, well, we are into the final 15 minutes of the half. And at the moment, Biggleswade United are holding on to their 1-goal deficit, which, if you are just joining us, is a lovely chip over the top. It's a lovely ball over the top by Raheem Jabba, and it was an equally as good finish from, of course, high-flying Taylor Winey. Now 31 goals for the season, and that was probably one for the highlight reel this season for sure from Taylor. Lovely finish to put his side 1-0 up, but last 10 for 15 minutes has been real pressure from the visitors. They're pushing once again now with this corner. Straight out to Jordan Gerald. Poor execution from the corner, actually. And it was a bit of a let-off there for Biggleswade United. Should be dangerous here. Cross coming in for Crawley Green. It's at the back stick. It's ricocheted. It's somehow not ended up in the back of the net for Crawley Green. They're getting closer. It was just wide of the post. It was Ernest and Georgie who got his back heel onto the ball. I think he slipped as well there. And defenders just watched that nearly go in the back of the net. The goalkeeper, I think, would have had it covered, but he looked slightly destroyed to Denolly Leslie. And it was just rolled wide of the post. And Biggleswade United know they can do much better here. But Crawley Green have just missed that opportunity. And it's another let-off for Biggleswade, who still find themselves 1-0 up in this huge game in the Spartan South Midlands League between Biggleswade United and Crawley Green. Goal kick's gone straight out of play as well here for Biggleswade, so it's going to be even more pressure on the United defence here. I mentioned this is going to be such a good test for Biggleswade going into a huge game next Saturday in the 4th round proper of the FA Vars. Cameron Hyde clears away. Now it's Gaz Hunt. Crawley Green get themselves the throw. And it's taken quickly. So important that Biggleswade can just keep this lead up until half-time. Because Crawley Green are playing some lovely stuff here. And Biggleswade, they hit Crawley Green on the counter to get onto the score sheet. I would say the opening 10 to 15 minutes, I would say Biggleswade United were the better side. We're even pushing to get a second at some point. But something changed between now and then. And Crawley Green since have been very confident on the ball. And I think it's put Biggleswade United offside, but I think they expected to be in a very tough game, of course, today. Especially after the game on the 2nd against Stotfold last Monday. At the moment, all the second balls I mentioned, Biggleswade were winning the midfield. Now Crawley Green are doing. So it's almost been a bit of a change of momentum, and it's a crucial last 7 minutes. We nearly enter the 40th minute mark. It's very important that Biggleswade do not concede, I think, before half time. Connor Inskip to Taylor Winey. Just couldn't quite keep his feet together. He's been dispossessed, and now under a bit of pressure is Jordan Wright, but takes it in his stride as he always does, and allows Ollie Leslie to collect away. And now Biggleswade going over the top again. It being headed away with conviction. I think Biggleswade United, they've got to keep the ball on the floor a little bit more, because at the moment they're pinging the ball over the top, and sure, it works for the opening goal, but it's not going to work every time against a team like Crawley Green. And Raheem a bit reluctant there to try and win the ball back. As Crawley Green are passing it around Biggleswade United midfield at the moment, and they're doing extremely well. Cade's a bit out of position. It's 4 in the box here for Crawley Green if they can get this right. And Jordan Wright had the help save his team. He's still in play, though. Jordan Wright, he's still on the ball. Is Jordan Wright. He's done brilliantly well. Clears away only as far as Nicholas Striff, the guy who was up against there. And it's going to be a throw right on the corner flag for Biggleswade, who have really struggled in this last 15 minutes to really get out of the blocks here. Crawley Green pulling them down really well as an away side. And I mentioned 7 wins out of 10 away from home this season. Is a very good record in this division. One of them defeats, of course, coming away, I think, as well, Stotfeld, who Biggleswade just lost to. So before the back-to-back defeats, of course, for Biggleswade, they were on a run of 13 matches unbeaten before losing to Aylesbury Vale Dynamos on the 6th of December, which was the last game I did cover. Last home game we had here, of course, was the Lake and Heath penalty win. And, of course, back in the FA Vars next Saturday, make sure you head on down to the Keach Hospice Care Stadium for Biggleswade United versus Coventry Spinks in the 4th round proper of the FA Vars. And right now, Biggleswade know they're in a game here and now, maybe looking for a counter-attacking opportunity, and this could well be the type of opportunity. It's been actually, I'm not quite sure it is a free kick. I'll tell you what's happened. There's been a 50-50 here, with both players going for the ball, and I think there's been a clash of heads. Raheem Jabra, I'm not quite sure who for Crawley Green. Once I see a number, I'll be able to confirm. But it's Raheem Jabra and one of the defenders for Crawley Green. Both sets of physios coming on the pitch extremely quickly, and with concussion protocols, it's very important that does happen, and it wouldn't surprise me if there's a little bit of a break in play here, because they were both intently, of course, going for the ball, and I think they've clashed heads. So there's a break of play, and to be honest, this break in play, Raheem, I think, has probably come out better out of the two, because I don't think the Crawley Green player has actually moved much at all. And Raheem Jabber's leaning forward. Lily Hyde, Cameron Hyde's sister, helping out with physios this season. She's doing a terrific job. The Crawley Green player is actually back up on his feet, with Jabber, who I thought was come out better here. He's still down, but gives Christian an opportunity to talk to his players a little bit, maybe a bit of a regroup, as Crawley Green, as I mentioned, have really been on the ascendancy. So they really have been on the ascendancy. So Christian using this opportunity to speak to some of his players. Both players, I think, will be back on, but they're both going to be off the pitch momentarily. So we're going to have 10 versus 10 for the time being, as we are entering the final 5 minutes of the 45. And it's almost been a game or two halves inside the first half after such a great start for Biggleswade United, going 1-up in the opening 10 minutes. The last 25 minutes of the game have been largely attacking-wise, been dominated by Crawley Green, and Biggleswade's defensive resolute has been very well tested, and they've passed it so far. I think it was Marius Patru who was up against Jabber for that. Both players back on the pitch, which is good to see, and Crawley Green back going forward, and it's well defended there by Kay Stevens Abbey, because it was actually Matt Maloney who could have been through one-on-one that was intercepted there by Cade. Throw in here to Crawley Green. The dummy throw there. Cool. Markel off guard. Cross is coming in. It's come out of play for a goal kick. And whilst we wait for the ball to get back to the goalkeeper, quick reminder, big thank you to all of our sponsors. I'll be impressed if I can remember all this without looking. But I want to give a huge thank you to Winchmore. Oh, what's happened? Ari, I've just been kicked out of the Twitter space. I'm just letting you know. I don't know if you've stopped the Twitter space or if we have a few problems with it. I'll continue my commentary on the YouTube stream just in case something does go down. Stayed in Irish. Let me know when you've got that sorted. It's now Markel Cousins. Markel Cousins for Biggleswade. It's intercepted. Cousins again outside the box. got his team a free kick in a very good position here. Has Markel Cousins. And I think that little break-in play might have been pivotal there for Biggleswade United. Final 2 minutes of the half, and Biggleswade United, after being under so much pressure in the last 20 minutes of this half, have a huge opportunity to potentially double their lead before half-time. Ari, could you set up another Twitter space, please? I don't know if you can hear me, mate. It's actually going to be a yellow card, it looks like, here for Crawley Green.
On it.
All right, I've sent a request in, Ari. If you can just send me back in. Apologies, we are back, and Biggleswade United have found themselves in a very good position. They've got a free kick just outside the box. Apologies for the connections issues, but we are back, and Biggleswade United, in the 44th minute, so a minute before half-time, got themselves a free kick in a Taylor Winey-esque position. To double their lead, it's going to be Taylor Winey. Free kick for Biggleswade. Oh, it's just wide of the post. Over the wall. Made the goalkeeper dive for it, but unfortunately it was just wide of the post. Let me tweet this. We are back on the Twitter space. For anyone just tuning in, Biggleswade United did have a free kick. That was just wide from Taylor Winey. And now Crawley Green are looking to get up the pitch now. That's Hunt with the foul. Crawley Green are not happy. They want a yellow card there because I believe a Crawley Green player did get a yellow card for their free kick, for the Biggleswade free kick. And now Crawley Green are asking, where's our yellow card then for their player? And I think it is going to be a yellow card. They've resisted the referee, and the referee is given in to that position. And it's actually Kay Stevens-Abbey, not Gaz, sorry, who will be with the foul and with the yellow card. And we're into stoppage time of the first half. There's a yellow card each. And Biggleswade United will know it's so important now that they just keep resolute, like they have the entirety of this first half, to try and go into this half-time, go into half-time with that 1-goal lead. It's been a real big test here for Biggleswade. They've passed it on all accounts so far. But it's going to be a dangerous free kick here for Crawley Green, who are certainly not out of this. Cross coming in. Headed away by Cameron Hyde. Is now Raheem Jabba. Ref checks his watch. Jabba looks to find Taylor. We've seen this combination once already today. The goalkeeper's come a hell of a long way out of his box to collect this, and he has. And the goalkeeper's running back. But the Biggleswade want to take this throw in quickly. I think the ref might well blow the whistle for half time because they're taking their time with this throw in Biggleswade. I think the referee might take matters into his own hands, but he hasn't as of yet. We're still playing. Apologies for the connections issues. We are back on the Twitter space now. Cameron Hyde takes the throw in. Now Jordan Gerald, chance to double their lead just before half time. Brilliant cross. Markel Cousins just too high for Markel. Hasn't quite got the height on that. And I think that will be that. The referee checks his watch again. Still no half time whistle. Well, we've actually just got past we've played 45, so we're into stoppage time of the first half. And what's been an entertaining half, with both sides having attacking chances, but it's Biggleswade that's taken their chance, and it's, of course, Taylor Winey with his 31st of the campaign that put Biggleswade United a goal to the goods. They were under pressure for large parts of this first half, but they seem to have weathered them at the moment. This could well be one last chance here for the visitors now. Cameron Hyde's got to get this right. He's cleared it away, out of play, for a throw right on the halfway. We did have a little stoppage, actually, with the Raheem Jabba and Hatchery of Crawley Green clash of heads. So we could have a good couple of minutes stoppage time, actually, to be fair. And if I can just watch one last time, and as I say that, the referee... And that is the half-time whistle. There was large parts of the first half where Biggleswade United looked to be a little bit ropey. However, they started this game like a house on fire. Coming out of this game, both sides came into this game with back-to-back defeats. And with a point to prove, it's Biggleswade United so far with 12 wins on the bounce here at the Keith Hospital Stadium. As it stands, they're going to get lucky number 13. But it's certainly not over yet. They'll certainly need some more goals, I think, if they are to get all 3 points in this game, because Crawley Green have been pushing. They've had chances. Ollie Leslie made a fantastic save and a couple of chances wide of the post. And once again, it's the man of the moment. Once again, is Taylor Winey. A lovely chipped lob chance over the goalkeeper into the back of the net. It's well worth watching back later on tonight when we do have the live full highlights on YouTube. But job's not quite done yet, but it's been a good start for Biggleswade United, and still there could well be more work to be done. It's been a very fascinating contest as we hit the half-time whistle. It's Biggleswade United 1, Crawley Green 0. We're back for the second half. Do not go anywhere, because we do have a very frantic contest on our hands here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. Before I head off, I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsors. Winchmore Brickwork for being the men's senior team sponsor for the season. VO for being our women's senior team sponsor. Flawless Landscapes for being our reserve team sponsor. JMB Motorsports for sponsoring the vets team. Recycling Lives for being our general sponsor. And Keach Hospice Care for being our ground sponsor. Also, if you're a local resident of Biggleswade, I have been informed over the last few days that if you are aware of the Mr. Branson shop on the High Street, they are selling replica home shirts for Biggleswade United. So if you'd like to represent Biggleswade United out and about, or even when you're going to the matches, we have got a shop, the Mr. Branson shop in town. I believe it's near the subway, and there's a Lloyd's there, and it's around there. We are selling replica shirts there, so get on down as well to the Mr. Branson shop to get your replica shirt for Biggleswade to represent Biggleswade United. That's going to wrap it up for me. Going into half time, going to be a huge second half for Biggleswade. They look to bounce back, and they're well on course to do that at the moment. It's half time. Biggleswade United 1, Crawley Green 0. We'll be back for the second half. Do not go anywhere. Both teams back out for the second half. Thank you. Both teams are now back. Harry, I'm going to leave the Twitter space and come back because it doesn't seem to be working. Just give me 2 seconds. If you're watching on the post-match live stream, I'm just trying to get back into the Twitter space because my mic seems to not be working for it for some reason. But both teams are back out for the second half. We will request to speak now. Hopefully my microphone should be working now. We are back for the start of the second half. Apologies there, had a few mic issues, but we're back for the start of the second half. Both teams are out, ready for the start of the second half. Some interesting scorelines in the Sparks and South Midlands League. I believe Stockport are drawing 1-1 at home. Leighton Town are winning 3-1 at half time away from home, which are two teams that are above Crawley Green, of course, but also a bit of an incentive for Biggleswade. I mentioned this. There's an 11-point gap between these two sides, with Biggleswade having played 3 games less than Crawley Green. So if they can win this game against Crawley Green in hindsight and win them 3 games in hand, they could go above Crawley Green in the table. They've played the fewest amount of matches than any team, bar one, I believe, in the top 10 of the division, Biggleswade. They're 9th in the league, but that pack, there's around there's a 12-point gap between the 1st and 10th, but Biggleswade probably played the fewest amount of games in the top 10 as well. So it's still very much all to play for. Have a little cross over the box, but back, and I need to. We are on the live stream. This is I'm trying. Defending here to do for Biggleswade. Sorry, some attacking here to do. The cross comes in. Could spell danger for Crawley Green. As apologies, Ari, you probably are wondering what's going on. I'm just trying to reconnect to my mobile phone data. Crawley Green are back on the ball here, though. I believe I'm back on the stream. Apologies there, Ari, but we're back on the live stream now. And thank you all for bearing with me there. We're back on the Wi-Fi, so that shouldn't cause any problems, actually. And we're back underway with player down here for Biggleswade United. It was Raheem Jabba. He's back up on his feet. There's going to be a throw-in now here to Crawley Green. Headed away by Cameron Hyde. Apologies to anyone watching this back on the live stream second half. The connection issues, we might have a few of them. Cameron Hyde. Under a lot of pressure here, Cameron Hyde. Done brilliantly well. Going back to his defender, Gerald, who's managed to find Taylor with an out ball. Had a lot more time in his hands, so I think he realised he's headed it straight out of play through a Crawley Green throw, which allows even more pressure. And I think Christian would have told his players as well. Taylor Well, we'll find Markel Cousins. That's a lovely ball. Markel, if he can get this right, it's Markel Cousins. Dispossessed now. Jaden Irish. He blasted it to Jaden Irish, but not used to really going for goal one-on-one, and was wide. Probably the last way you want to be shooting in that position was Jaden. So good at everything else, but hasn't scored a goal for Biggleswade in quite some time. At least I don't think I've ever actually seen him score for Biggleswade since I've been at the club the last 3 seasons. But it's going to be an early substitution, and it's a new boy from Biggleswade United who's coming on. It's number 11, Raheem Jabba, coming off. And is a very bright prospect playing against Biggleswade United. Great acquisition to have. And Mendoza is straight on the ball. He's come on for Raheem Jabber. It's another attacking outlet for Biggleswade United. Lovely little 1-2, and Mendoza trying to make a name for himself straight away, but he's now been dispossessed, and Inski clears away a bit. He's going to put it back for a free kick, I think, against Mendoza, who's had a very strong start, Jesus Mendoza. It's going to be a free kick here to Crawley Green. I'm interested just to see what Jesus can do for Biggleswade United. It's very much like it's a like-for-like substitution. He's gone on to the left-hand side with Markel staying on the right and Taylor staying up front. Jordan Wright heads away. It's now Gaz Hunt. He lashed at that ball there, Gaz Hunt. It's possessed by Jesus Mendoza. Very good by him. He's under pressure. Lovely bit of skill here. Still on the ball. And he's definitely got a bit about him, this Jesus Mendoza, in the opening couple of minutes since he's come on. He looks very sharp, very skillful. He's skilled past 2 or 3 players in a quick instant before the team wins the throw-in. And now, taking it quickly now, it's Taylor Winey. Look for the little lob over for Markel Cousins. It's gone straight into the gloves of Dan Gould in the Crawley Green goal. But I like the look of this Jesus Mendoza. Definitely has a bit of tech about him, that's for sure. That's the ball over the top. It's gone past Cade, and this could well spell danger here for Crawley or Biggleswade United. Gaz wins the ball back in midfield, or has he? He hasn't. It's still danger. JJ's got to get that right. He's done brilliantly well. It's a crunching tackle by Jordan Gerald. And he's also come off probably the worst of it too. He hasn't moved, but he put his body on the line there, Jordan Gerald. The ball's gone out to play for a corner, but he hasn't moved, and doesn't look great here for Jordan Gerald. With minimal defensive acquisitions, well, Milo could come on potentially, of course, with Cade going out to centre half, but with the FA Vars game coming up next week, this would be a huge loss. Biggleswade United, of course, with Lewis on the sidelines, as well as sorry, Lewis isn't here anymore, I don't think. Mason Watkins-Clark, sorry, I beg your pardon, on the sidelines. Yeah, he doesn't look good here for JJ. He's put his body on the line into the box. There was a 3-on-2 situation in favour of Crawley Green. And I think if JJ doesn't make that tackle, he's back up on his feet, which is fantastic to see. But if he doesn't make that tackle, JJ, I think it's 1-1. It's a fantastic tackle. He's put his body on the line. Probably, I think, the player got a bit of him as well, which is going to happen when you're blocking a shot. It's out of play for a corner. JJ gingerly walks off the pitch, and Biggleswade temporarily down to 10, but I don't think he'll be substituted off. I think he'll be all right to carry on, to be honest. He'll need the signal, but at the time being, Crawley Green take this corner early, and Markel Cousins has caught them out very quickly. And now Jesus Mendoza can run with this ball. Lovely touch from him. He's 3 against 1 here. Not in favour of Jesus Mendoza, and he's been crunched down here as Jesus Mendoza, and almost completely dropped to the floor there. Biggleswade are not happy there, and to be honest, they've got a case here. Jay-Z went absolutely flying there, and I don't really think they've really had an answer here. And Christian's eye for talent, based on what I've seen in this opening 5 minutes, James Mendoza, he's the type of player I think Biggleswade. Our attacking options have been brilliant this season. Yemi, Taylor, Raheem, and Markel. They might have well have added. It's very early days, early on in this game. It's very early on, but early stages. And what I'm seeing from this kid, he looks a talent. He looks a top talent, and I tell you, who can really add some real proper skill to this Biggleswade United team that already is full of skill and full of talent. Christian might well have found another one here in Jesus Mendoza. Won his team the free kick, and it's really been that spot that United were missing at large parts of that first half. They don't know how to handle him, Crawley Green, and Biggleswade have a free kick. They still play on though. Jaden Irish to Jordan Wright, sorry. Now Gaz, Markel's still down. He's slowly getting back up onto his feet. Just to confirm, I didn't mention it, but JJ is back on. Cameron Hyde. Biggleswade United started this second half just like they started the first. We're having a bit of a storm here for Crawley Green, but they know the next goal in this game, as the old cliche goes, is critical. If Biggleswade United can get a 2-goal cushion here, it'd be so valuable for them. At the moment, they have to try and keep throw-ins in play there. If Gaz Hunt's throw-in goes straight out of play for a Crawley Green throw. So that wasn't ideal. It's going to be a throw-in this time, though, to Biggleswade. It's you get a throw-in, I get a throw-in at the moment in this game. And now it's Crawley Green that's going to run the subs. Looks like 2 of them, in fact. It's going to be Ernest Ngorji coming off. Grossi coming on for Ngorj for the visitors. I think they might be making another substitution as well. No, it's just a 1 substitution. It's not a double, it's a single sub. So both sides made 1 sub each. The referee didn't like that throw-in. Then they're asking it to be retaken here from Cameron Hyde, who's been done for a few foul throws. He does want to be careful with the linesman literally right there. That one seems to be okay. I love the little flip here by Jesus. It's Gaz Hunt. It's going to be a throwing the other way here. Very physical contest between Biggleswade United and Crawley Green in the second half. Mendoza wins the ball back for Biggleswade. It's now Jaden Irish. Mendoza. Taylor thought he was pushed back there, but not enough really there for me. And it was also outside the box. Crawley Green looking to pass away around the back now. Way by Jordan Wright and Jaden Irish. Cousins. Dispossessed. Now it's Matt Maloney. Got to get this right here. Biggleswade, they're cut inside. Got enough bodies in there, and Inskip's dispossessed. Brilliant play by Inskip. Biggleswade now look to counter. Markel Cousins. Taylor Winey. Cousins. Still running with Markel. He's got options here. He's won his team the throw-in. Good play from Markel Cousins. Was aware of his surrounding, was aware of what was around him, and he knew the best case scenario there was to ricochet the ball off the defender and get his team a throw-in and allow all the other players attacking wise to get up the pitch. It was a good attacking mind there from Markel Cousins. Milo. Jaden. Not Milo, sorry. I'm so used to Milo wearing the number 2 shirt. Apologies, Kate. It's Kay Stevens Abbey over the throw-in. Into the box. Markel Cousins. Back to Kay Stevens Abbey. Gets the cross away. James Mendoza down the other side. Lovely little touchdown by him. Shrugged off the ball there. Straight to the goalkeeper. He's gone for the long kick over the top. It's Brilliant tackle there by Cameron Hyde to deny Jervin Campbell once again. Sharp as ever is our Cameron Hyde. Going straight to JJ for Biggleswade and dispossessed there by Mike Evans. Otherwise, I think Taylor would have been running on one-on-one from the halfway line. Taylor's then dispossessed. Crawley Green, they're not afraid to put a tackle in or two. And they know, I think, they have to do that to try and get back into this contest, as it is, of course, still 1-0. The Crawley Green are not out of this. Cross coming in. Ollie Leslie, comfortable. That Joe Grossi for Crawley Green, who's just come on. He looks a bit of a live wire and looked to made a bit of an early impact for them. He's winning the ball back quickly in the midfield, and I think they've missed that really with how good United have been in midfield in this game. Jason Mendoza, another one has come on the cover for Biggleswade, as I mentioned. His ball was just too high for him. Cleared away by Crawley Green. It's gone straight out play for a throw, and that's kind of been the story of the half of both sides, I believe, with no one really taking control of this of the midfield in the second half in particular. It's going to be another substitution. Joe Hankins, the captain for Crawley Green, coming off for number 14, Brandon Carney. Brandon Carney, I think I've got written down here on my team sheet. He's got 8 goals this season for Crawley Green, so he's another one to watch out for and one to be wary of. I'm quite surprised Brandon didn't start, to be honest with you, with his goal record, but something to be wary of from Biggleswade United perspective. Is throwing once again from Cameron Hyde from straight out of play for a Crawley Green throw, and you've just got to be careful of that. The wind has died down slightly, so I'm not quite sure if I can blame the wind on that one, but and up in the gantry, I definitely would be able to fit it, that's for sure, if it was very windy. I've had loads of tropical storms, and luckily we are still playing, of course. And actually did get postponed in this division, and we're lucky to have that. The rain wasn't too rapid here before kickoff. But it was just before. But nonetheless, Biggleswade United now have themselves a throw-in after the Crawley Green throw-in didn't really come to much, and now it's going to be a throw-in to Biggleswade. They keep him in play this time. Cameron Hyde. Taylor's in an offside position if he goes for that. Flag was up, he knew, and it's going to be a free kick to Crawley Green. Good defensive line, you could say, there for the visitors. This game is very much on a knife edge. Not much separating the two sides. Only thing separating the two sides is a lovely finish from Taylor Winey. And Markel might look to find Taylor in dispossess. Markel wins the ball back, and now it's back with Taylor. It's Taylor Winey, cuts inside with the finish, wants the corner. He gets the corner. Markel Cousins wins the ball back. Taylor Winey took his time with it, and it's been ricocheted off. I think it was the substitute, Joe Grossi, and it's going to be a corner here, the first one of the second half for Biggleswade United. We enter the hour mark. 62 minutes played. United look to double their lead in a tense top half battle against a very tough Crawley Green side. Both teams have actually lost the same amount of games in the league this season. Both lost 5 games this season in the league. Gaz Hunt over the corner. Cross comes in. John Wright couldn't quite get his head onto that. Crawley Green have managed to get it away, only as far as Jordan Gerald, who's crossed it, and Gaz is onside if he can get to it, but it's been cleared away again, only as far as Cameron Hyde. We know he's got a shot on him. Back heel, lovely little play there. Now it's Gaz Hunt crossing it in. It's been blocked out by Nicola Triff, and it's going to be a throw-in to Biggleswade in a good position. Lovely touch that is there from Marv. Oh, Biggleswade United player, and of course, reserve team coach Marv, watching the games on his phone, having a cup of coffee, and she's managed to chip the ball back onto the pitch, call as you like, and stay on the phone. Shout out Marv. If that was caught on camera, if that was caught on this live stream, it was a brilliant touch. But now Gaz, throw-in's taken quickly, cross comes in, it's Jesus Mendoza! I think it's come off Jesus' hand. It flipped off his arm, hit his hand, he's then gone for the shot, he's hit the post, and I think even the flag wasn't up for offside. I think it did come off his hand, but it was a very quick awareness there from the quick throw-in, and Gaz with the cross in, finding Mendoza at the back post. Unfortunately for him, it's ricocheted onto his hands. He took the chance, he hit the post, but the referee's given a free kick, which hasn't come to much because Biggleswade are now at the moment not allowing Crawley Green out of their own half. Looking a relentless bit of pressure in these last 10 minutes. We're just passing the hour mark. Crawley Green are really looking to try and shuffle the pack now. I think they're going to make a third substitution very soon. Looking for a corner. They get the corner, and it's lovely, intricate passing. Biggleswade United once again combining that time was Taylor Winey and the captain Gareth Hunt, who I have to say has had his best game in quite some time, Gaz Hunt. And his shot was once again blocked out from a very resolute Crawley Green defence and out of play for another Biggleswade United corner. 65 minutes played. Biggleswade United 1, Crawley Green 0. Biggleswade United over this corner. Second shot, we've seen this plenty. Cameron Hyde. In a shooting position, Cameron Hyde blocked out by Grossi. It's been brilliant from Gaz. As I think very quickly wants to try and we see a bit of friendly banter there between the number 10. It's lovely to see that little skin of the head there. Number 10 and Gaz there. All friendly competition there. And at the time, Gaz does give away another free kick here. And it's going to be a free kick just before the halfway for Crawley Green. The ref, I think, is going to have a word here with Gaz, the club captain of Biggleswade United. It was all taken in good faith, the last one. I thought there was going to be a little butt of heads there, but it all turned very friendly very quickly. Maybe it was a familiar face, who knows, but it was quite good sportsmanship and good to see in the end, actually. So watching this back on the live stream, you know what I mean, but obviously on the Twitter space, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I hope I've explained it well. It's well spelled danger here. Cross coming in for Crawley Green, headed away once again by Jordan Wright. Michael's lost the ball here, and there's players up here for Crawley Green. This could spell trouble for Biggleswade. Blocked out by Connor Inskip fantastically well. Taylor's being pulled back. Christian's absolutely furious. Biggleswade play on, and they've got the ball back. And now Jaden Irish is running himself into space. Still running, Jaden Irish, who hasn't stopped the entire match. Putting pressure on the defence here of Crawley Green. Right to the corner flag, in fact. And it's back to the goalkeeper. Gant wins the ball back. Taylor wants to try and win the ball back. Does well. James Mendoza does even better. And now it's Taylor Winey looking to win this battle with the keeper. He wins the battle with the goalkeeper. And penalty to Biggleswade United. And that all came from a fantastic pressure from Biggleswade United. It was a collision between Taylor and Dan Gould, the goalkeeper. It's interesting to see what they do with this, because was it a last man opportunity? We see the goalkeepers are very heavily protected, but it's a 50-50 opportunity to get the ball, and the goalkeeper's come off second best. That's exactly what's happened. The goalkeeper has come off second best. Taylor's got the ball first and then taken out Taylor. Taylor, right place, right time, wins his team the penalty. I don't know what the decision is going to be here for Dan Gould, but what I can tell you, what I do know is Biggleswade United have a penalty and a chance to double their lead going into the final 15 minutes. Referee gets his card out. I think he's only going to be a yellow. It is a yellow card for Dan Gould. I think him being between the sticks might have saved him there, because you do see a bit of protection sometimes with goalkeepers. But we have a penalty, and it's going to most likely be, once again, Taylor Winey to get his second of the game and potentially his 32nd. That's right, 32. And around 22 starts this to be as well. Probably have a couple of changes after this, but Taylor scored a penalty against Aylesbury in a 3-1 defeat. That was the last penalty he scored. Last game I covered as well on the 6th of December. He got back on the score sheet today with a lovely goal in the first half. He has an opportunity to put Biggleswade right back up the table and back up the mix again. It's Gould against Winey, and a chance for Biggleswade to have a bit of breathing space. Taylor Winey with slow run up. Oh, it's just about in from Taylor Winey, and we doubled our lead Biggleswade United 2, Crawley Green 0. That's a huge goal in this match. Dan Gould got his hand to it, but Taylor's shot was just too hard for him. It's a brilliant finish. It was a brilliant way to win the penalty with brilliant pressing from Biggleswade United. They've doubled their lead against a tough Crawley Green side, and it looks like they're going to be the team getting back to winning ways in this one. Still 15 minutes to go, but a huge goal in the game. It's Biggleswade United 2, Crawley Green 0, and it's Taylor Winey who has scored his 31st and his 32nd goals of the campaign to put United 2 goals to the good. And I think it's going to be Crawley Green that are going to run a couple more changes now, as Taylor Winey is on a hat-trick. Not the first time I've said that this season, that's for sure. He's had a handful, maybe 3 or 4. I lose count with Taylor now. I'm sure he'll remind me at the end of the game, that's for sure. But after a bit of a tough spell in the first half, after being going 1-0 down, Crawley Green haven't, they haven't been terrible in this game. They've caused Biggleswade some problems, but Biggleswade have had good answers to that problems. And this game has been almost come at a really good time for Biggleswade with the huge match. First time ever United are into the 4th round of Vars proper next Saturday against Coventry Spinks. And this game against one of the top teams in the division at home came at the perfect time because it's a huge test next Saturday, and this was arguably just as bigger. And now he's up against Gould again, Winey, and he's won the ball again, Winey. He wants a free kick this time. He's not going to get it. But he fancied his chances against the goalkeeper, and he nearly done him again. Did Taylor Winey. Markel Cousins. Taylor would definitely want another hat-trick, that's for sure. And now he might well be caught out, but Jordan Wright again back for his team. Ollie Leslie clears away fantastically well. And now the game might open up a bit more for Biggleswade, with Crawley Green chasing this game. Of this second half, and the entire game, I want to say, actually. Jordan Wright. Now it's Taylor Winey. Takes his time, looking for Mendoza. Just too far, I think, or is it? It's just too far. He slips as well, unfortunately, there, James Mendoza. But it was an unlucky ball there, and I think Yemi Adelani is going to be coming on. He is. Taylor stays on. It's going to be Markel Cousins, who I already mentioned. A hell of a shift today from Markel Cousins, as always. An excellent performance from Markel Cousins, who's come off and to make way for Markel Cousins, who I'm sure will be one of the first names on the team sheet next week against Coventry Spinks. A hell of a performance by him. And he's making sure he takes his time with it. His referee ain't happy with him. I think he's going to book him as well. And Yemi Adelani comes on, and it's an opportunity he has around, how long we got left? We are in the 72 minutes. He's got just under 20 minutes, Yemi, here to impress. But I think Yemi's going to be out wide here. So it's going to be like for like. Taylor maybe staying up front, and Mendoza on the left-hand side. I will be checking after the game if that is how I pronounce his name correctly. Gaz. I was loose by Gaz. I'm not like him. Just to announce, I won't be announcing the man of the match. That will be Nick on the channel. I'm not sure he picks it either, but and that well, Yemi's hungry, of course. He wants to try and get onto the ball. Now it's Gaz. This ball again there by Daz, but it's going to be a throw in here. And 74 minutes played. 2 goals by Taylor Winey, the difference against a top signing, Crawley Green. They've passed it in flying colours. You can argue probably Biggleswade's most impressive home performance this season, particularly in the league, that's for sure. And now it's Yemi Adelani, who looks hungry, looks to find has come in. We're back, Harry. We are back on the YouTube stream. And on the Twitter Spaces, I want to thank you all for tuning in. And what has been a real tough test for Biggleswade United. I can't emphasise this enough. Crawley Green are a top team, and they are where they are on the table for a reason. But one thing I have also stressed about Biggleswade, despite being 9th in the table, they have only played 16 matches before today. 11 points, maybe 13 points off the top, but with 3 games in hand, or maybe 2 off Stockfold now, but 3 games in hand on Crawley Green, who sit in 3rd place and 2 points behind the league leaders before today. And they're certainly still in that hunting pack. So a win today for that reason alone was vital, let alone momentum going into the Vars. Lovely turn that is from Jaden Irish. There's no real support there unless he turns again. He has found some support though in K. Stevens Abbey. It's Stevens Abbey with the cross in. No one's there. It's been cleared away. It's been a lovely position there, but neither Yemi or Taylor could really capitalise. And now Crawley Green look to get the ball out of their own half again. And that's what I need his hand there. But K. Stevens Abbey brilliant once again. Back to his defensive partner, Jordan Wright. Yemi's going to chase. Fresh legs is pivotal. And Yemi using his experience fantastically well. It's been a top performance. When you consider Biggleswade wanted the reaction, the Aylesbury game, having 3 weeks off, lack of training, whatever you want to call it, it was a tough day at the office for Biggleswade against a very tough team in Stockfold. They've reacted fantastically well here tonight. On course for 3 points and rising up the table in the Spartan South Midlands League. Gaz Hunt. He's got Cade in support. He's found Cade. Might be looking for this. Early cross in. It's now Taylor Winey to Jordan Gerald. A little turn from JJ. He might have been fouled there. JJ has now. It's going to be a free kick to Biggleswade. Really turning the screw here, and Crawley Green are getting real frustrated now. This could well be a spot that Biggleswade United needs. We saw a couple back-to-back defeats near the start of the season. They then went on a 13-game unbeaten run. We've got back-to-back away defeats against Aylesbury and Stockfold, and a win here against Crawley Green, going into a huge run of games. Could well be going 13 wins on the bounce here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium, really turning into a fortress for Christian Collis's men. And Taylor to wrap up a hat-trick. It's quite far out, but maybe he's going to fancy the free kick, hit the wall, and it's going to be a corner. Well done, it's done its job. Mendoza done just about enough to put off the defender to make sure that still goes out to play for a corner to Biggleswade United. As we are entering the 78th minute mark, with 12 minutes to go before the end of the game. Biggleswade have a corner, and there's no signs really of them stopping. Cross coming in. On the right, looking to find himself at the back post. Collected away by Dan Gould, who's had a tough afternoon, has to be said. Cameron win the ball back. Cameron High clears away over the ground, throw in. And an opportunity for me to quickly say a huge thank you, of course, to all of our sponsors. Wintermore Brickwork for being the men's senior team sponsor. Theo for being the women's team sponsor. Flawless Landscape to being our reserves team sponsor. JMB Motorsports for being our vets team sponsor. Recycling Lives for being our general sponsor. And of course, formerly known here is the Second Meadow normally. But we want to thank the Keach Hospice Care, or the Keach Hospice, for sponsoring our ground, formerly known as Second Meadow, now known as the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. Huge thank you to them and all of our sponsors for supporting our club. And if you would like to get involved in our club, I think we're doing a half-season offer for it, but I need to double-check the details. But £75 a season. If you'd like to sponsor a player, which I think could well go on to next season as well. More details are on the club Twitter pages, but contact biggleswadeunited@gmail.com. And if you're watching this on the YouTube stream after the match, the drop down arrow is on the screen right now, as I mentioned, in biggleswadeunited@gmail.com. If you'd like to sponsor a player, it's only £75 per season. I'm sure the right is down for Biggleswade. I'm sure that's just a bit of cramp, which his age is probably understandable. It's going to be a substitution here, and it's going to be for Biggleswade, and it's going to be Gaz Hunt coming off, the Biggleswade United captain, who's put in a hell of a shift this afternoon. Gaz Hunt coming off. I want to say he's probably been one of my best players for the game, Gaz Hunt. He's done a lot of standouts. Another player that gives the team a bit of something different, and I'll be honest, in this game, when it comes to physicality, is a brilliant player to bring on the final 10 minutes. Is Josh Stoniolo coming on in place of Gareth Hunt. A hell of a performance from our club captain, Gaz Hunt, this afternoon. And Jaden Irish, of course, will take the captaincy for the rest of the game. Connor Inskip, I want to give a huge shout out to as well. Another fantastic game for him. Inskip. Mendoza. It's crossed in. Taylor couldn't quite find it. Cleared away. Still danger though. It's Stoniolo. Mendoza. Still Mendoza. Lovely little flick on. Can find Taylor. Looking for the corner. Does it come off Taylor? I think it has come off Taylor. It's going to be a goal kick. Very impressed as well from what I've seen so far of Jesus Mendoza. Well, I'm fascinated to see what Christian thinks of him. He spoke very highly of him to me before the game. But speaking highly of a player and then seeing a player are two different things. And I can certainly see why he's brought him in, because he does add something a bit different. I think the other attacking outlets, and this is a dig at any other attacking outlets, they're all brilliant for us. But sometimes you need players to have different attributes and different ways to win a game, or different ways to take on a man. And Mendoza, from what I've seen, has a different way to take on players than the others do as well, which can add a real different dynamic and can add even more unpredictability to your attacking line, going into a run-in or going into a cut run, in our case, for the FA Vars, and this, that, and the other. So it looks like a good acquisition for Biggleswade. The free kick for Crawley Green was dispossessed by Biggleswade. And Mendoza's going to chase, but it's still with Crawley Green here. Another bit of passing this, and Crawley Green wanted to set this up for a grandstand finish, maybe. Cross coming in, cleared away by Jordan Wright, who I'm sure is very protective to keep his clean sheets. Defensively as well, Biggleswade United so far, don't want to put the mockers on it, have been excellent. We've had to be patient with their chances. Biggleswade as well, they have been that. Intercepted brilliantly again there by Jordan Wright. Another, I think, player who definitely could be a good shout for player of the match. Brilliant covering by KC Mazabi, who hasn't played the right back for a little while. Been excellent this evening. Sorry, this afternoon. 8 minutes of the 90 to go. Biggleswade United 2, Crawley Green 0. Let's Biggleswade United look well on course now to keep their fantastic record at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium going. And Jordan Wright's fantastic record. I think he's only lost one match on his return to Biggleswade. That was last Monday away at Stotfold. He wasn't at the Aylesbury game. So I don't think he was. I might have to check that. I mean, if he was, I think he came on in the second. No, he was. He came on in the second half. When he starts, he's only lost one game this season since he's returned to Biggleswade United. His home record here, though, is 100%. So since returning, Inskip clears away. No, there's no right ball there because Biggleswade United are defending, but I want to say it's probably been a professional performance by Biggleswade against such a tough team. That's hard to do. They're not going to take any prisoners at home, and they're going to have another huge test going into the Vars next week. In skip. Looking to find Mendoza. That ball's going too far from there, way too far. But it's definitely Raheem Jabber, I thought, was excellent when he came on, but Mendoza just added something. I don't know how to describe it from what I've already said, but he's just added so much more as well. And that's no discredit to Raheem, who played in a fantastic ball to Taylor in the first half for us to take the lead in the game. It was so important, and Biggleswade United have won the free kick. It was so important. Mendoza has come on and he's really made an impression. I think to get into our starting team, particularly in the front three, you've got to make an impression from the word go. And Mendoza has had little spells. Sure, he hasn't really had many chances since then, but he's given defenders more to think about. And Jabba was doing that, but sometimes you need even fresher legs to do exactly the same thing, and that's exactly what Mendoza's been great for, I think. There. Definitely giving Christian more selection headaches, which is never a bad thing to have. And Stephen Zabi clears away. Yemi touches down. Couldn't quite keep his feet there. And it's going to be Jordan Gerald, who's gone down again here off the ball. Milo Keane will be ready to come on. I think he's been our most consistent player in terms of appearances this season. It was a rare game being rare game on the bench for Milo, but he will be coming on now. JJ hobbling off. He's putting a hell of a shift as Jordan Gerald. I think it's Jordan Gerald coming off. Yeah, Jordan Gerald hobbling off. I think he wasn't the same since that tackle, but he's putting a hell of a shift. Milo Keane comes on. Cade goes to centre back, and Milo goes to right back. So it's a bit of shuffle with the pack, but Cade and Jordan have played together before. Cade's played at centre half more than he has right back this season, but it's good to see that Cade definitely still has the ability, of course, at his regular position at right back, but he's back at centre half now as Milo goes to the right hand side. Staniello's been fouled. Free kick there. Fouled by Tujan Brown, one of the substitutes who came on in the second half for Crawley Green. Thank you all for tuning in, of course, to the Twitter space. For a little while since we've done one of these, first one of the year. We'll be back next Saturday and the Saturday after that, back to back home games. Big one against Coventry Sphinx next Saturday. Saturday after, we're at home again. Tring Athletic, back in league action in 2 weeks' time. Like I mentioned there before that, it's the big one. Arguably one of the biggest games in the club's history. First time ever in the fourth round proper of the FA Vars on our road to Wembley after what's been this top half clash. Biggleswade United have passed this with flying colours so far as we enter the final 5 minutes of the 90 now. They don't really look in real danger of collapsing here. Staniello to Milo Keane. Jordan Wright. So I'll Stephen Zabi actually, but the other way. Staniello stays on his feet and keeps it from going anywhere else, but Grossi gets it back for Crawley Green, who aren't going to try and give this up easily. It's Brown now. Intercepted again by Inskip. Headed into danger. AC Manhabi heads it away. Milo Keane, brilliant. Only just come on. And he's won his team a foul as well. It's not going to be a corner. It's going to be a foul on Milo Keane. Brilliant play by Milo Keane. And that's why he started at right back for the majority of this season. Cade had an early injury, of course, at the start of the season, which allowed Milo's opening at right back. And since then, apart from today, Cade, but Milo's played a lot of football, and I think he was due a rest, and Christian gave it to him today. He's back in today, and I think it wouldn't surprise me if this might well be the back four we see next Saturday. There's a lot of good competition for places, and JJ again was excellent this afternoon, so he's got a good shout as well, if he's not injured, of course. Mendoza's going to press here. Good pressing by him. The wind really does start now, and it's affecting Crawley Green as Cameron Hyde gets the ball back. They're looking to try and make it free now. It's Jaden Irish, and there's a player down. He's off the pitch though, so I don't think it's really going to affect I don't think they're going to get the ball back because I'm not being funny. The player's off the pitch and Christian wants to check if he's okay, to be fair to him. He's got him back up on his feet, I think, but Christian just to check to see if the Crawley Green player is okay. He's getting some physio. He's off the pitch, so the game still carries on, and even Crawley Green, who are back on the ball now, are still playing. So temporarily they're down to 10, but they're attacking here, Crawley Green, as we are entering stoppage time of the 90. Final minute of the 90 now. He's back up on his feet as well here. And Christian is beside himself, but nonetheless, it's 11 against 11. Yemi, I think he's offside. There was a poor ball by Jaden, to be fair, so he wouldn't have found it either way. But brilliant tackle there by Taylor Winey. And now Biggleswade win the ball back. It's Winey looking to find Mendoza. He slipped Mendoza there. They found Winey. Taylor Winey for a hat trick. Still Winey. He took his time, Taylor, and he had Yemi there as well, but it's been intercepted by Crawley Green as we enter 90th minute. Crawley Green now looking to try and get a very late comeback going on here, or just a consolation, but that's a brilliant chance. And in fact, that's probably their first attack, real shot on goal in this second half. And it was forced to save by Ollie Leslie. His second of the match. Just trying to see who that might have came. I think it was Matt Maloney there. The referee, I think, is going to have a word with Christian about something here. Nonetheless, it's a corner. The referee, they're trying to take the corner quickly here. The referee is still having a word with one of the Crawley Green players. And Christian, I think. And Christian, I believe this is happening because Christian, the player was let back on, and there was no real signal to let him back on the pitch. And Christian, I don't think was very happy with that. But we've had a word. Everything's fine. It's going to be a corner down to Crawley Green. Headed. It's goal kick. It's a header that was on target. It's hit a Crawley Green player on the line. It's going to outplay for a goal kick. Very unfortunate there for Crawley Green, but it kind of sums up their afternoon here. Haven't really quite clicked for them. They've looked dangerous. They had a 25-minute, very dangerous spell in the second half where I was thinking Biggleswade have to be careful and ride this out. They rode out that bit of play from Crawley Green, and since then, Biggleswade United have dominated this game. And it was a game going into this, I didn't think they'd be able to dominate against such a tough team, and they've come out of it with flying colours. So full credit's got to go to the lads and, of course, Christian. It was a perfect test going into such a big game next Saturday, and they're passing it at the moment with flying colours. Injury time. Crawley Green are still going to keep going as we'd expect them to do. Cross comes in. There's numbers in the box. Headed, double header. It's just wide of the post as they still try and push for a late goal here to get themselves back in this contest. But Biggleswade United have passed every test in this game. As we enter 2 minutes into stoppage time, I've been informed by Nick that the player of the match this afternoon is Connor Inskip, and I think that's a fair choice. Could have given it to many players, but Connor Inskip in that midfield has been absolutely excellent. Him and Jaden and Gaz today were absolutely exquisite in the midfield. We lost the battle in the midfield last Monday, and it cost us the game against Stockpole. Tonight, we had to win that midfield battle against a tough Crawley Green side. We've done just that. Connor Inskip's a player of the match. I will be interviewing him and Christian after the match on Twitter. So make sure you stay followed to @Biggleswade UTD on Twitter. A shout out Nick for letting me know the announcement for player of the match. Just keep an eye on Taylor because he's not going to be happy not getting the player of the match after scoring 2 goals, but he's put them away. He's done excellent, but it's been a tough battle in midfield. And Connor was a big part of winning that battle in midfield today. I'm looking forward to speaking to him about it. He enters the final stages now of the game. Inskip. To Milo Keane. Milo. K. Stevens Abbey. The attackers running offside positions. They couldn't go for that. Crawley Green are going to go for this now, though they have to. They've got no other choice in the matter. So we enter the 3rd minute of stoppage time now. Milo Keane covered his man brilliantly well, and it's going to be a corner. They want a free kick, Biggleswade. They're only going to get. They're only going to concede a corner though. Corner as we enter the 4th minute of stoppage time. So you have to feel this is probably one of the last attacks of the game. Cross comes in. Header goes wide. It's going to be a goal kick. And I think that's going to be that. Ref checks his watch. 2 more minutes, the referee has said. Sorry, we are still playing. We're in 4. We've just entered the 4th minute of stoppage time. There's 2 more minutes on the clock for Biggleswade United as they look to go back to winning ways after back-to-back defeats in the league. Aylesbury and a tough battle away at Stotfold. And they've come out of that game against an equally as tough opposition in Crawley Green, who you could argue maybe we're fortunate to have played them after back-to-back defeats as well. But that's sometimes, this is the problem, this is the thing with this league. Any team can beat anybody, and you can't take any teams lightly. And Biggleswade United certainly haven't taken Crawley Green lightly this evening. And they've been absolutely excellent to a man today. Another strong home performance that will put them 13 home wins on the bounce this season. Going into arguably the biggest game in the club's history next Saturday at home to Comity Springs. Yemi Adelani, good touch from Yemi. Fortunately, the pass wasn't quite there to Mendoza. Hasn't really been able to get the ball as much as he did in the opening exchanges since he came on. A bit of skill, cross coming in. Header caught by Ollie Leslie. Was a lovely bit of skill and probably the best move of the game for Crawley Green, but it's come a little bit too little too late for the visitors. And for them, it will be 3 defeats on the bounce in all competitions, and interesting to see how they bounce back as well. They've only won 6 out of their last 10 before today. They'd only lost 3 games on the road this season in the league. And that is going to be the full-time whistle, as there's a Crawley Green player down injured, but the referee has decided to call it a day. And for not the first time this season, Taylor Wiley is the man. Taylor Wiley is the man who is the difference maker again for Biggleswade. But it wasn't just him. It was a collective performance from the boys in red and blue this afternoon against a tough Crawley Green side who were 2 points off the top before today. And Biggleswade, off the back of a 3-0 defeat, have bounced back tremendously. And it's fantastic momentum going into another huge game next Saturday against Comity Springs in the 4th round proper of the FA Vars. But let's talk about today. A brilliant performance from Biggleswade United against one of the top teams in the division. They've passed the test tremendously, and it means that they're still in that top 8. They're still in that mix. When you see the table, you know what I mean. But there's a 12-point gap in that top 8 to top 9, and Biggleswade have 3 games in hand on Crawley Green before today. They were 11 points behind. They're now 8 points behind them with 3 games in hand, which means they're in the ascendancy. But of course, you've got to win those games. But huge game, huge win, for Biggleswade United. Taylor Wiley opened the scoring with 31st of the campaign with a lovely through ball by Raheem Jabba. Goalkeeper was off his line. Taylor saw it, lobbed the goalkeeper cutely into the back of the net, made it 1-0. Crawley Green, their best spell of the game, I would want to say, came in a 25-minute spell of the first half. They were really pushing for an equaliser, and it was resolute defending and in midfield battles that won us the game. It was absolutely fantastic to a man. And Connor Inskip has been good for quite a while for Biggleswade United, and today he gets his plaudits because he's our player of the match. I will have an interview with Connor Inskip, and also let's Jimmy quickly talk to Taylor. Of course, he won the penalty, he scored the penalty. That's 32 now in the campaign, and that's Biggleswade United back to winning ways in the Spartan South Midlands League, going into a huge game next Saturday. Before we go, full-time, Biggleswade United 2, Crawley Green 0. Thank you all for tuning in to the Twitter space. And, of course, make sure you check out our YouTube stream after the game. We will be uploading the match a couple hours after the match. We will be uploading the full match highlights. That will be wrapping it up from me. Here you go. Next Saturday. If you've got nowhere to be next Saturday, you want to be at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. 13 home wins on the bounce for United. And they come up against an old United Counties League team that they played last season. Community Spinks come to town next Saturday. 4th round proper of the FA Vars. Biggleswade United versus Community Spinks. And I want to give a huge shout out to all of our sponsors before we head off. Huge thank you to Winchmore Brickwork for sponsoring our men's senior team. VO for sponsoring our women's senior team, Florida Soundscapes for being our reserve team sponsor, JMB Motorsports for being our vets team sponsor, Recycling Lives for being our general sponsor, and the Keach Hospice Care for sponsoring our lovely ground, the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. That's going to wrap it up from me. I've been your commentator, Ryan Madden. We'll be back. Huge game next Saturday. As I mentioned, Biggleswade United versus Lakenheath. We hope to see you there. But if you can't be there, we'll be going live on Twitter Spaces. Make sure you check out our post-match with Connor Inskip, our player of the match, and, of course, the gaffer, Christian Collas, post-match at Biggleswade UTD. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. Stay subscribed to our YouTube channel, our Twitch channel, and our Facebook page. Thank you all for tuning in. I've been Ryan Madden, of course, your Biggleswade United commentator for the afternoon. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next Saturday.